Friday, December 2. We gave you Thanksgiving off. Don't want to give you too much difficult news over holiday. The world is digesting a sudden rise in long-term interest rates. Mortgage rates have jumped from just over 3.5 to 4.25. The controlling party is the U.S. 10-year Treasury note, and it's risen even more, and in a straight line. And everybody's trying to puzzle out what happened with the election that would trigger an increase like this. What was so different about Trump versus Clinton? And we've spent some time in denial. We've got alternate explanations, such as the rise was already underway, which it was. And the Fed was going to tighten, and we haven't paid any attention to them, and now rates have caught up to what the Fed's going to do. But it's about the election, and it's specific and it's painful. The Trumpistas intend, we now have a Treasury Secretary designate, and we've heard his intentions. Trump intends to goose the economy, to jack its growth rate from the 2-ish or a little less that we've been stuck in to 3 or 4%. And whether he can or not, the Fed has to react. So what happened the morning after the election was an instantaneous, very substantial repricing of the Fed's future intentions, and it's not over yet. The Fed already felt that unemployment was as low as it could go, that the economy was already running beyond its capacity for growth, that the Fed's estimate of the maximum growth rate without increasing inflation is under 2. And those formulae and concepts are good, reliable, long-term, tough. The only way you goose a long-term growth rate and get away with it without inflation, no matter how you do it, is by increasing productivity. And increasing productivity is, we need the education system in play, we need parenting in play, we need all kinds of things in play to raise the rate of productivity growth in the United States, especially as we age. None of them are evident. None of them are quick. And so the Trump people expect to push the economy ahead. And a lot of their ideas are okay. A lot of their ideas are ones that a group of Democrats left undisturbed might have pursued. The reduced regulation, Democrats would not have done, but deficit spending, infrastructure spending, oh yeah, you bet. The Trump's effort with Carrier to save 1,000 jobs is right out of the Democratic playbook. You get the state of Indiana to subsidize the jobs, and you insist that Carrier keep the jobs even if it means they have to raise prices that they would not otherwise, and even though it makes them less efficient than they would have been, anti-productivity. Man, that made great theater. Sometimes theater is better than reality. We haven't had a president-elect, let alone a president, out of the gate, dive into an issue like jobs, like this, in a long, long time. I mean, this is out of both of the Roosevelts, Theodore and Franklin, and Reagan. Sometimes theater will get things done that can't get done in the details of economics. Either way, if they intend to boost the economy, no matter what, all out, the Fed has to pick up speed. The Fed has to react to it. That means that we may begin to have midnight tweets from Trump to Yellen, or threatening Yellen, and that's not going to be good for the bond market either. So I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't know if it's going to go far enough really to hurt housing in the near term, but it's going to go. Don't wait for it to come back down to deal with interest rates or to buy a house. Just proceed. It'll be fine. And a very early Merry Christmas.